And good afternoon. And welcome to the inaugural broadcast, the inaugural live stream of Lunch with Langdell. And our guests this afternoon are Dan Flores and Kristina Heredia. They are new to the city of Marysville, but not new to the area necessarily. Dan's lived in the area for a long time. We're going to be talking to him about that and his experiences. We are located at the new restaurant in the, what do we call this center?
The Marysville Plaza next to Ellis Lake.
Yeah, what is it, Watermark Plaza?
The Watermark Plaza.
Watermark
yes.
Plaza, okay.
Yeah.
And as you can see, we are at what is now, where did the menu go? We had a menu here a minute ago.
New Thai.
It is
I'm going to go get it, actually.
Thai
Excuse me 1 second.
restaurant, the Keimer Thai restaurant. And these are the folks that run this restaurant are the folks that ran Ban Thai down on 4th Street in Marysville. Here's the menu. Let's see, hold it up there. So there's a whole bunch of good stuff in here, and some of it you might recognize from Ban Thai, some of it may be new, but we're going to be kind of eating a little bit and talking. Do you know what this is?
This is drunken
noodles
with pork.
Okay.
And then
what else do we have?
We have a mango curry with chicken.
Why don't you pick that up and kind of hold it right into this camera here.
That one?
There we go. Up a little bit more. There we are.
Pineapple fried rice with chicken.
And what else do we have?
The mango curry.
The mango curry
with chicken.
With
Okay.
chicken.
Very
It
good.
looks really
Mango curry with
looks
chicken.
delicious.
All right.
Ooh, and I'm
So,
filling this cucumber with
we're kind of getting all adjusted here to what's going on.
we're
so
just
we're
getting
going to
ready.
eat and
Yep.
talk at
My
the
plate is
same
way fuller
time.
than yours.
That's all right.
And you probably know me. This is me. And of course you've seen me before. And then we have Dan Flores.
Hello.
That's Dan right there. And then next to him we have Kristina Heredia. Whoops. And I'm getting used to trying to pan the camera and at the same time try to eat, sort of like chewing gum and patting your
This
head
thing?
and at the exactly. And you can do that.
I can do it.
Amazing.
I'm a champion.
Amazing. That is amazing. So, Dan, because there's probably people in the area that don't know what your particular background is here, maybe you can tell us a little bit about your background, how you ended up here in the Yuba-Sutter area, and what's kept you here all these years.
Oh boy. Okay. How long is the show, Ted?
As long as we want, we're streaming.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Well, first of all, Ted, I want to say thanks for having us on. You know, we're really excited as the new team here, the new community development team here in Marysville. We look at this as a great opportunity for us and for the city as a whole. And we just appreciate the vision that the city council has in wanting to move forward with a community development team and move forward with their vision to improve the lives of the people who live in Marysville and the lives of and improve business and the economics of Marysville altogether. So I just want to say thank you for this, and thank you and congratulations on your inaugural show. I hope we do okay with you on here. You know, at Lunch with Langdell.
You're going to do fine.
But you started off great because the food looks terrific, and I just want to say
I may get to eat some.
yeah, you might at one point. And I want to say, congratulations to this Thai restaurant, which was actually one of our first approvals in the last few days. So Kristina and I are the team that do the approvals for the new businesses. Kristina has a really strong background in planning, which she'll be able to explain to you, and mine is more on the economic development side. But so I'll give you the long story short version of me, since you wanted my background, but lived here about 24 years now.
Where did you come from?
I came from the Bay Area, so I'm from Berkeley. I grew up, born and raised in the Berkeley area. In between, I lived in Ohio for a little while, where I met my wife and brought her back to California. We had intended on moving to San Diego, but those of you, there's many in this community who do know my mom. She's perpetually 72 years old, so I just want to throw that out there because she'll make sure that I did that. And she is a real estate agent with Century 21. My wife came out one time to visit her just to say hi, and the next thing I know, we were buying a house in the Yuba-Sutter area, and we were starting a business. And so we purchased a staffing firm at the time called Archer Personnel and Staffing. Had 16 temporary temporary employees, and we had no idea what we were doing, and we had no idea anything, didn't know anything about the community at all, except that my parents had retired here from the Bay Area. They had a prune orchard that they were actually running. That's what they called retirement. So they did that, and my mom's the real estate agent. And so we, ended up buying a house, and the company, the Archer Personnel and Staffing, long story short on that, it grew really quickly. We went from 16 temporary help employees to over 1,300 employees. We were the largest employer in Sutter County, larger than the county itself, larger than, Rideout Hospital at that point, and larger than SunSuite. We also started doing some recruiting where we recruited physicians and doctors into the area and got to be really well known. And then right away, I don't know if I had, sucker pointed on my forehead or, I just said too many yeses, but I became the Chamber of Commerce chairman really quickly. And it was great to be the chairman at that point too, because it was the time when Forbes magazine recognized the area as the #1 place to do business in the United States, or the #1 small business area or small community to do business in the United States. And I just remember a representative from Forbes coming out and driving me around in a limousine and giving the Economic Development Corporation a Tiffany bowl, which still exists at the Economic Development Corporation, I'm told. But after being the chairman of the board there, I became chairman of the board for the Economic Development Corporation itself. Really got my feet wet into the economic development, worked closely with the organization for several years, got to know lots of business people. Within 3 years, we sold Archer Personnel and Staffing, and it's now the Plus Group. It's located in Yuba City. There's still one there, and I believe they have 25 or 30 locations now across the United States. So it grew really quickly. That was our launch off into business and to real estate. And at that point, we just discovered there was a real need for employees in the area. And so we thought about starting a school, and because we needed to train employees. There was a shortage of employees. This was like the early 2000s, and we were coming out of a recession, and there was a huge shortage of employees. So we started. You have a low battery thing on this phone.
Oh,
just FYI.
It's doing a low battery thing.
It's good.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know. Do you want me to continue or?
I'm going to keep
going.
eating.
Okay.
We're going.
Yeah. So we started training employees in some basic computer skills at that time, like Microsoft basic skills. And then within a few months, we found out that we could actually become a private college accredited through the Department of Education. And so we founded the first college in Sutter County. So we were the first ones in Sutter County, and our specialty was training medical assistants and allied healthcare workers. Long story short on that, zoom fast forward. I mean, we did 20 years basically training employees, trained about 4,000 employees in the area. Lots of success stories. It's great for me. I get to walk around and I meet people who they started with nothing and then trained for careers, and now they're generations of people who have gone out, and it's even better because my son he lived half time in the emergency room because he was a basketball player, and so he'd always get injured, and it was really great when we walk into an urgent care. We knew everybody working in there, and we knew they were trained at our school. But in September we sold the school, and at that point that's when I thought, wow, this would be a really great opportunity to come work with the city of Marysville and work with them on economic development and community development overall. And so I interviewed for the job, spoke with city council because I really wanted to get an idea on their vision, met with each one of them to talk about what their vision was, and wanted to see if this would be a direction that I'd want to head. And then I wanted to apply some of my economic development, real estate, education skills to the city of Marysville and see if I could bring that in. And so here we are, sitting on the Lunch with Langdell show, eating Thai food with my new friend Kristina Heredia, as like an expert at planning. And in between there, I've done a lot of real estate transactions and been really heavily involved with commercial real estate. I know a lot of developers. I've networked out of the area as well. I'm part of the Greater Sacramento Economic Council. I'm on their board. I sat on the Sacramento Area Council of Governments board out in Sacramento for many years. I'm currently also on the Sutter Health board. I'm the planning and finance chair for Sutter Health, which is a pretty large organization. And then I've just been pretty actively involved. I'm also a Shriner, so in my spare time I'm a Shriner. And then one of my
Spare time, huh?
Yeah, spare time. And then one of my favorite hobbies is sailing and really spending time with my family. So that's pretty much who you're talking to right now. And I love Thai food, so this is a great place to be.
Well, that's cool. And one of the things that I think you had told me about when you moved to Sutter County, you moved down towards where exactly?
So Sutter County, I moved to Terra Buena. So I moved there, and that's
me too.
Oh, you did? Okay, yeah. So actually, Independence Drive in Terra Buena.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where we ended up. Yeah.
So one of the things that you liked about living out in the country was you discovered things like four-wheelers, like road runners or something.
Yeah. So coming from
The
the
bird?
city. Sorry.
The Bird Roadrunner?
No, not road runners. So I think he's talking about like four-wheelers and things. But
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
But so when we first moved to Yuba-Sutter, it was very much country, even though they were already building several homes. Interwest had a lot of projects going.
And this was
1997, 98, right in that, right after the flood, 97. So when we were having our house built,
Okay.
we were watching on television as the flooding was occurring, thinking, did we make a bad decision? But we had it built, and yes, when we came here, I think Ted, you're referring to a story I told you about my brother and I, and we went to my parents' place in Tudor, is where they had their property.
that was it.
Yeah, and it was our first time being out in the country, and we got on four-wheelers and just started riding around everywhere, and we found out that you're not supposed to ride in people's orchards that way, and cussed us because we had no idea. And I don't remember who it was, but I'm sure I know the person now. But they pulled us over with their truck and told us to get off their property in a not so polite way, but I understand now. So, that kind of thing was a cultural adjustment for us. Definitely coming out of the city and then coming here where we could run free and ride tractors and ride my dad's tractor, ride around on four-wheel quads and shoot guns. We just had a great time. So.
Oh.
Cool. Well, it sounds like the area grew on you in the last 35 years.
Oh, 24 years, yeah.
Is that?
97, 98, right?
Math was never one of my good subjects in school, thank you.
Yeah. 35, I would have been pretty young.
Okay, well, however many years it was, it's grown on you,
Would've
and
been
you've
more,
managed to
I'm 38.
become an integral part of the community
I love this community.
and
It's
be
great.
able to engage with people and make a difference.
Met some wonderful people all along the way. I should also mention I was a really active member of the Early Risers Kiwanis. At one time the president of Kiwanis, but just being with that group of people really has been wonderful in serving the community and just getting to know people and being able to do what we do, serving lots of children in this area as well.
So, you were at the Focus on Marysville meeting this morning.
Yes,
And I think you came away from that very excited before you went to a meeting with the mayor.
Absolutely.
Tell us about what was going on there.
So I was lucky enough to be invited to that meeting this morning, and I'm looking forward to attending future meetings with Focus on Marysville. You were there, and so it was great to see you, and Judy Mann was there, and then also several business owners, and then former County Supervisor Leahy was there as well. I was pleasantly surprised and happy to see that Supervisor Leahy was running the meeting and talking about some of the philosophies that I actually lead my life with, which is abundance versus scarcity. I think that was a really great talk on that. I think his discussion on customer service was really, really good, and I look at one of the philosophy on that is, love all, serve all, that I stole from the Hard Rock Cafe, but I love that philosophy. And he talked about how relationships with businesses to customers is so important, and services that way as well. But thinking from abundance was his key message, and instead of scarcity. And I think a lot of times, especially with COVID, we've gotten to this point where we think from scarcity a lot, like, no, we can't do that, or you have to wear a mask, or we've lost a lot of that more of abundance thinking. And I think it's really important that we set that as part of our vision, that we're more abundant in our thoughts overall. But I was pleasantly surprised and happy again about this, that everybody in the room was so passionate about what they have, their little business they have, their restaurant they have, their ideas they have. We talked a little bit about setting a vision. I think everybody has a separate vision, but they're excited about it, and that's excitement is infectious. And I know Kristina feels this way too. Like, we're here and we're like totally,
let's go.
Like, yeah, we're jazzed because everybody around us is excited about getting things done. So I'm thrilled to be a part of that. I used your word.
Oh, yeah, that's a word that you don't often hear in.
Right. Thrilled.
I usually run into that in press releases, where some press release writer is trying to do that, and I know that it's been a press release when I see it show up in newsprint.
Right, that's right, yeah.
The word thrilled.
Yeah, he told me this before, so I thought I'd throw it in.
See, I like the word enthusiasm.
And we're enthusiastic about it, right? Yeah.
I think that's what mine said, was she said enthusiastically.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and that fits you perfectly.
Yeah.
So that's a lot about me. Maybe talk to Kristina and I can try some of the Thai food later.
Have you not seen my plate? I have been trying the Thai food. I don't care who watches me eat. World.
There we go. Okay, so Kristina, what have you been eating and how is it?
Well, I have polished off my fried rice, and I keep eyeing the pineapples in there, and I keep thinking I should just, without you guys looking, but I think too many people are watching me double dip here. So.
Yeah, go for it. This is lunch with Langdell.
Lunch with Langdell. This is a delicious lunch. Mm-hmm. I'm a firm believer that pineapple should be mixed in with your savories. So
absolutely.
I'm in that camp. It's delicious. Absolutely delicious.
So, how did you come to be in Yuba-Sutter?
Well, I grew up in San Diego. Love San Diego, and wanted to see more of the West Coast, I guess. And so I started traveling a little bit. I ended up going to school in Texas, getting my undergraduate and my graduate degree at the University of Texas in planning, and fell in love with planning. I only became aware of planning as a field when I needed a flash drive, and the planning college was SUPA, School of Urban and Public Affairs. I don't think it's called that anymore. They were giving my free flash drives, so I went over to them, and the rest is history, right? Yeah. So I've done planning in Texas, Colorado, Oregon. Recently, I was in Alaska for the last couple years, in Fairbanks, Alaska, and that was a fun adventure. But in April, I decided I was cold, and I wanted to come back to California, and my brother and my sister-in-law live here in Sacramento, and so they said, why don't you just come and try this area? And so I showed up in May, and I've been loving it ever since, and I showed up in the Yuba-Sutter area about a week ago. And
so what have you been doing in Sacramento? Just looking for work? Or?
I was working at Solano County in Fairfield as a senior planner, but it just wasn't the right fit for me, and I became aware of the position here. Thought I'd throw my hat in the ring. I really like the way Marysville is presenting itself, really wanting to grow and develop, and There are some limitations size-wise. This is about growing, up, bringing more prosperity to the area. And how do we do that? And so it's a challenge to me because my background is in planning, which is more of the regulated side of development versus an economic development. And so I'm fascinated to sit here with Dan and to learn everything you can teach me about this. And as I shared with you, I think yesterday, my first director, Craig Farmer in Weatherford, Texas, he had the Farmer's Rules, Farmer's Dozen. And my favorite of all was that planners are facilitators, not regulators. And I really try to take that to heart, that my job here isn't to throw up a red sign and stop you and get you wrapped up in bureaucracy for 2 years just so you can open a restaurant. My job is to make sure that those gates are open for you and that, I help you move this forward and then I can say, I helped develop this community and I helped people realize their dreams, and that's where my passion is. And I love it, and I'm having a great time.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like you are, and you're excited about being here.
I am thrilled to be here.
Idea.
Thrilled.
Use the word. Nice. You should have one of those, like a buzzword or a ring the bell.
Ring the bell if they say the word thrilled. We all take a sip of our tea.
Today.
Yeah, that's what you should do. That'd be fun.
Buzzword of the day, yeah.
So, speaking of words, if you had to come up with on short notice, like now,
Like right now.
A word to describe your impression of Marysville, what would that
That's
be?
interesting. Yeah.
2 words, I would say hidden gem.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2.
2 words.
Oh, you want a single word?
Diamond in the rough is 4 words.
Yeah. That's a phrase.
Spectacular? Can I use that word?
Mm-hmm.
I love Marysville.
Any word you want.
Charming, spectacular. What's all the, unpack my adjectives. I look at the downtown Marysville. Remember the old Schoolhouse Rock,
Yeah,
right?
I do, yeah.
Unpack your adjectives.
They got packed in Texas and or Alaska and never got unpacked in Solano County.
Unfortunately, no, they did not get them. I think Marysville is my tribe. I walked into City Hall a week ago and I decided this was where I belong, and I think they made the right choice in hiring me, and I think I made the right choice in accepting the job. And
I would have to agree. She's great to work with.
thank you.
Yeah.
I drive through downtown Marysville and I see so much potential. I see these spectacular buildings that are a little derelict, run down. The library, I walked by it today. It's exquisite. It's an exquisite building. We have such good bones here, and we just need a little push to get those, those doors opened again. And that's what Dan and I are going to do.
Yep.
And we're already started.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I know that Dan, before you actually officially
I'm
started,
gonna take another bite of my delicious
Go
lunch.
for it. It's good. It's
before
really good.
you
This is
officially
really good.
started, Dan, you were actually walking around town talking to people.
Yes.
And that's there's the management by walking around, but what did you discover as you walked around?
I think as I mentioned a little bit earlier, there's a real passion in the people here for the town. There really is. Like, they're proud of what they have. They want more. They're not sure exactly what they want altogether, but they know they want more and they want better. I think some of the things that Kristina just brought up do come up from the people as I walk around. It's like they can't understand why some of the building improvements haven't been done. Some of them have mentioned that they've had challenges in the past getting things through the city. I'm not exactly sure what that means, but it's not going to happen anymore, I'll tell you that. I've heard that type of feedback. So those things are really important for us to address as we start our planning process. And our planning process right now is really trying to come up with an overall vision and direction. City Council has put us, set us to task on multiple tasks right now, and they do have an overall vision for the growth and improvement for the city of Marysville, and we're really looking to make that happen. A couple of the projects that just come to mind right now that are getting started, we're going to have a groundbreaking for our 5th Street improvement, which I think you reported on in the past there, Ted.
We did?
Yeah.
Yep.
So in the next couple of days, you're going to start seeing barriers at on parts of Fifth Street. There might be some slight traffic disruption, but the improvements are going to be well worth it. Oh, absolutely worth it all the way through. So we're looking forward to seeing that project get off the ground. Today, Habit Burgers opens up in Marysville, which is a really big deal. So if your listeners could get out and patronize Habit Burgers and try something off their menu, that'd be wonderful.
Where is that going to be?
It's right over here on E Street. So it's where the old Burger King used to be. If people know where that was here in Marysville. So make sure to go check it out. Go to Habit Burgers. This Thai restaurant, which we're here at, I think it's really important
delicious.
to note. This just opened up, what was that?
A week ago.
Thursday, I think it
Couple
was.
days ago.
Yeah, so just make sure you come to this Thai restaurant. It's great food as we're
We need
eating
to tell
right now.
people where it is.
Yep, location is it on the menu? I was
In
trying to get
the
the address.
Watermark Plaza?
It's in the Watermark Plaza.
Plaza.
I don't know the address here though, but we should get
9th
the
and
address.
B Streets.
Yeah.
906
Oh, there it is. 906A B Street. Yes.
Or 9th Street, I guess. It's the corner of 9th and B by the lake, and they do have a space for outdoor dining, and I'm hoping that they will be able to make some use of that, because
Yeah.
this is one of those
Today would have been nice
places
out there.
that
Right on the lake.
Yeah.
has, get a little warmer and make sure it's not too windy out there.
Yeah.
The only disadvantage is the traffic noise I noticed out there this morning when I was shooting some video.
Yeah, but it's nice inside here, and then it's great,
yeah.
great to have them.
Yeah.
And then a couple of another notable project I'll say first is B Street property. I think you've reported on that before as well in the past, but the city owns 5 acres over on B Street across from the lake.
Is that 5 acres?
Yeah, 5.1 acres, yes. And they're looking for a developer right now, so we have an RFP out to try to solicit anyone who may be interested in development. Specifically, though, we need tax-generating businesses, so like a hotel would be a really nice addition there.
Yeah.
Some housing, potentially some other mixed use on that property would be great. We're getting lots and lots of excitement on that too. We're getting a lot of developers who are interested, so we're looking forward to looking through all of their proposals as they come through.
It's a really
on that.
nice site.
Yeah, it's a great site.
You're not going to find that much space
Anywhere else,
Anywhere
yeah.
else in town. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's good opportunities there. And then we are speaking with a couple of drive-through restaurants that are pretty well known that are also looking into coming to Marysville as well. And I mean,
Stay
we could mention
tuned.
stay tuned for that. And we could mention many other projects that we're working on. So this is a great time for us to be involved in this, and the great time for the attitude that Kristina just mentioned, which is really we're going to get things done. We're not going to be the barrier to getting things done. We're going to help you get through it. We got to make sure everything's legal and done correctly,
Yes,
but we're going to
that's
help
my
you get
job.
through the process. That's right. And she's really good at that, right? Mine is just keep pushing. Let's go. Yeah. But we have a great city manager as well, and his philosophy so far that I've seen is one that it's kind of cliche, we know it, but he just keeps saying get her done. So,
Get her done.
So we're taking that to new levels, and we're like, get it done now, right?
Now.
We're adding the now. So
And we're going to have a great new planning commission, and
yes. Go ahead. Yeah. I talked to Kristina about the planning commission. Actually.
yeah. So we'll have my first meeting with our planning commission will be on the 23rd of February, and I understand we have a couple new members, and I haven't met any of the existing members or the new members, so I'm really excited to meet the commissioners and to have a really positive working relationship with them. I've met city council, and they seem really nice as well. Very pro-development, and I think we have just a really strong team on all levels of government here in Marysville.
Yeah, one of the first items on the agenda for the Planning Commission, too, is a first for Marysville, is the whole Planning Commission, along with Kristina and I, are going to a training
That's right.
on planning that's offered by the League of California
League of
Cities.
California. I'm having
so
more of
all
this.
the whole planning commission gets to go together.
You better grab some of this.
Be a good bonding moment and training moment for all of us. So.
Back here. How about I just
He's not
hand
gonna-
this?
You can leave some.
You're not
I
gonna
can
get
leave
to
you a
eat.
little bit.
Ted's not going to get to eat. 'Cause-
Ted's not gonna eat any of this.
but-
Well, let me ask you this though: are there any things that we haven't asked you that you think that people need to know about?
Yeah, so a couple of things come to mind right away. Marysville is sponsoring the first Restaurant Association meeting to be held in the city of Marysville.
Yeah.
Restaurant Association is Yuba-Sutter Restaurant Association, so people from Yuba City will be coming over to join us at the City Hall.
Yeah, on the 23rd.
February 23rd.
February 23rd is a big day for us.
It is a big day. So we'll have restaurants from both sides of the river who like to work together and who want to work together more and meeting together to come up with ways that we can work together and be better. So I think that's really exciting coming up. We plan on holding not a town hall, but a meeting with the builders and developers from the area so we can explain the planning process and any new rules that might be in place, and then also explain our process as we're developing it so that we could be more responsive at the counter at City Hall. So, we intend to change many processes based on some of our experiences from the past, that we can streamline a lot of the permitting and those kinds of things that have traditionally taken a little more time than we would like to see. So a very strong focus on customer service, being proactive overall, and really working on attraction. So those are some of the things we're working on with City Hall. On another note, we are working heavily on marketing. So we have some press releases that will be out pretty much every week. We had a goal of setting one press release a week out, but now I'm getting multiple press releases per week because there's so many exciting things. I mean, we have a new fire engine that's getting put in place. Yeah, the new apparatus getting built. We have new business opening up almost every day at this point, which is really exciting to see. And then we have developers who are looking in to do housing elements. Another one that we broke ground on that just brings to mind was the affordable housing project on
the East Lake.
Called East Lake.
East Lake Apartments.
East Lake Apartments. And
71 units, I believe.
Yeah. Kristina, see, she can give me all the numbers.
71 units in East Marysville. It's going to be very exciting to have that. And they just broke ground yesterday?
Yesterday, yes.
Yesterday.
Yeah. So you can see the tractors moving and the construction starting and just a lot of forward momentum, and we want to be a part of it.
Now, East Lake, that's the project that's in the old sign yard, Caltrans sign yard, Yuba Street
Yes.
to Ramirez, East 13th to East 14th.
Yes.
It's like a whole block, I believe.
Yeah, the entire block.
Yeah.
The entire block.
That was a block or two away from my first Marysville apartment.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was at East 15th and Ramirez. Looked out on or at least the balcony looked out on the Ramirez Street. So we knew
Ted, since this is your inaugural lunch show, can you, and Christina's new, maybe give us a moment of your background? I know it's supposed to be about us, but we'd like to know about you too. So.
Well, that's fine. So let me see if I can get this camera. As you may know, any kind of inaugural has its own little things going on, and you learn as you go. I'm also a Bay Area import, if you will. My parents decided, or my dad, I think, decided that he wanted to get off the road as a manufacturer's representative for home furnishings business.
Okay.
So we lived in Walnut Creek after they got tired of the snow in Massachusetts and came out in 1949.
Wow.
They were late model 49ers. And ended up coming out in the DeSoto. They lived with some friends in Alamo. Dad went to work for Scoville and Sons, marketing latex foam.
Huh. Okay.
And then ended up getting a job, I think, with Sealy Mattress. Somewhere along the line, they had a store that my mom wasn't too happy about them having. It was Dad's project in Walnut Creek, and it was involving furniture. And they ended up basically doing that. Then he ended up on the road as a manufacturer's representative for different furniture companies.
Okay.
He also had a partnership for a while with a gentleman that represented the Thayer line of baby cribs, things like that. And he had, I should say, Dad had a shop in a space in the Western Merchandise Mart. Now, this is, if you go down Market Street today, what you'll find is that particular building that they're in is the home of Twitter.
Oh, wow.
1355 Market Street, right there.
That's funny.
Anyway, so it was an interesting opportunity to go in to the spaces there and take a look around and see what was going on. And so in doing so, one of the things I found at an early age was the fact that they had operators. And I learned where the operators were on the second floor,
Okay.
and knocked on the door and got to know Vi, the head operator, and she said, "Oh, put me up on a stool in front of a switchboard, gave me a set of headphones, showed me how to work the cord board."
How old were you then?
Oh God, well, I was less than 10 because we moved up here when I was 10 and a half in
that's
June of
funny.
'65.
Yeah.
So, learned how to do that, got interested in radio and television and that kind of thing.
Right.
Back then, the school district that we were in was just beginning to do instructional television. And so they had wired the different wings of each of the schools in the Lafayette School District
That one's my
with television receivers. And this must have been, 1962 or 63. They would cram 3 classrooms full of kids into one 6th grade classroom, turn the TV to channel 5, or that was what they were plumbing up from the district office or the district studio,
Right.
and we would watch Walter Cronkite doing the space shots with the Mercury astronauts.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
So that was cool.
Yeah.
But I think I probably would have learned more if they'd have let me, even though I was only 6 or 7 or 8 or however old it was, 8 or 9, run one of the cameras in the studio, especially doing math.
Yeah.
Because math, algebra was a struggle. I still can't get those darn letters to turn into numbers. I don't know.
I'm in the same boat.
Yeah, me too. So,
I have a calculator.
yeah.
I can help you.
You can help us out. Okay,
You can
great.
help with the math. Yeah.
This is our host. Let me see if I can turn this
your
around
turn.
over here.
Your turn.
Okay.
This is live streaming for you.
live streaming.
Yeah.
Well, yes.
No, you're
We
right,
were
yeah.
supposed to be live, but for some reason it didn't go live.
Oh.
But we've been recording now for
Good.
37
Now you can
and a
cut
half
out
minutes.
the bad stuff.
So tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I'm original from Cambodia. Actually, original from Cambodia.
How about if you step right over here next to?
Like to Kristina?
Yeah.
Yeah, there we
We can,
go.
what if he sits down? Is that better? Or-
Yeah, that's going to work better.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sit down, you said, if you don't mind.
Oh, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good.
Oh,
Yeah, please welcome to Marysville. Actually, I was original from Cambodia, and I found myself, like to cook. That's the reason why bring me here, open a restaurant. So I come to this city to actually looking for the property around that another corner. So I see the building is open, so I just plan to open. We just see the package, we open it. So we got some Thai dish, all the Thai dishes that are very famous. All the dishes like pad Thai, fried rice, stuff like that.
Drunken noodles.
Yeah, drunken noodle. That's they call pad siu.
Pad see you?
Yeah,
Oh,
pad siu
okay.
or pad kimao. Those famous Thai food.
Yeah.
And the next couple days we gonna have they call Phnom Penh noodle. It's
Phnom
Penh noodle?
Phnom Penh noodle.
Oh.
It's original Cambodia noodle soup.
okay.
Yeah.
When is that? When is
We'll
that?
be back.
You said in a couple days.
Couple days.
Couple days.
I try today, probably tomorrow. I try to buy all the ingredients.
Alright.
And
Oh, yeah.
I made it from the next day.
Coming.
It's gonna be have on the Facebook. Our page was my Thai kitchen.
Uh-huh.
So just the same like that page.
Yeah.
And we can have. I gotta add a few more dishes, Cambodia dish. That included like I have barbecue chicken, barbecue.
Oh, that's
pork.
gonna be great.
Yeah.
Barbecue
We're gonna
chicken,
have a
barbecue
show
pork.
called Hungry with Heredia.
Yeah, I can add lemon chicken. Yeah,
All right. What's the trademark?
That's how we're getting
Hungry with
filmed.
Heredia.
I like it.
No problem. We gotta add some lemon chicken.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
Then I have a fried chicken wings. Then a bit. I tried the sweet and sour sauce and also tamarind sauce.
Oh yeah. Ooh, I like tamarind
Yeah.
sauce.
Yeah, I like a good
gotta
tamarind.
Try to do that, and I try to add salt, pepper, shrimp.
Ah.
taste all
Yeah.
those.
I miss shrimp.
Yeah, you can't eat any.
I can't eat shrimp, yeah.
Oh, you can't eat shrimp.
No, I'll end up in the hospital.
She's allergic.
I used to.
Seafood.
I used to be able to eat it.
I love seafood, so
I used to love seafood.
it's okay. We still find some dish for
Yeah.
chicken.
Clearly,
lemon
I can
chicken.
still eat
Oh,
all
lemon
the
chicken.
food.
Lemon chicken is really good.
Yeah.
I probably original Chinese dish, but in Cambodia we combine. We
Yeah.
eat almost the same. Actually, we have the way we cook. But the Thai food, we eat exactly the same.
Almost the
Oh,
same.
yeah?
We have
but
our curry and something.
Yeah.
But,
Oh, I love
you know,
curry.
It's
Yeah.
good, yeah.
Yeah,
This was
curry is
really
The
good.
mango curry,
So,
yeah, really
yeah.
good.
Please
Awesome.
come in to Alice Lake.
Yes.
There
How,
you
what
go.
are your hours?
Oh,
we open from 11 to 9 o'clock.
Every day?
Every day.
Every day, 11 to 9.
Yeah. 11 to
Clearly, we
Like,
are eating
cleaned
it.
our plate.
Cleaned our plates.
It was delicious. So.
9. Yeah.
Poor Ted hasn't had any of it.
Ted, you want anything else? Let us
Oh,
know. I'll cook for you guys.
We're doing all right for now, and I'll
Yeah.
dig in here as soon as we're done.
Yeah.
I had to restrain myself and leave him.
We had to leave him a little bit, otherwise he was going to eat.
Yeah, Junkin noodle. That's a good one. That's a
I
good
love
one.
the noodles and Dunkin' noodles.
Thank you for having
Hey, thank you, Leora.
Thank
I'm
you.
in town, and thank you, Dan, for making through it.
Congratulations.
Absolutely.
So great.
Yeah.
You got it.
Congratulations on this. I hope you're very
Thank you.
successful.
Yeah.
Now, by way of introduction, people probably remember you from the Ban Thai restaurant.
Was him from Ben Thai restaurant. One of my partner, the chef and the partners. Yeah, he from Ban Thai restaurant at the 4th Street. So the whatever original food taste Thai food from there, they bring here. So exactly the same taste.
Okay.
Nice.
But
That's from the
this
4th
is
Street.
your restaurant, so
Yeah,
Yes,
that's my
it is.
partners.
yeah. Fantastic.
But
Yeah.
there's similar people involved, and so
Yeah, it's the same taste. The Thai food is the same chef from 4th Street Ban Thai restaurant. Exactly the same.
okay.
So
Awesome.
we just add on the top of Cambodian menu on top of that. That's all. Yeah. So
Well, we're really excited to have you here in Marysville.
Yeah.
of course,
So
of
thank
course,
you.
yeah. We're excited. Hopefully,
Yeah.
success together. We build a city. We want to build a city that's better. If we look at the lake, we say, "Oh my God, what if we
Beautiful
put
location.
some
Nice.
duck? People can ride the duck on the lake."
Yeah,
Are
we
you
should put
going
some
to
up.
have outdoor dining?
I've heard the
Yeah,
spice
we will
today.
have
We've got
adult
doors
dining
out
on
there.
probably spring. I would
You
say
know, like
spring
a party boat.
and summer.
thinking
I believe the
paddle
next
boat,
3
they
months
would
we
rent
probably
paddle
have
They
a
used to, but then
beer
they
license
were-
coming
Let's
in.
do
He was thinking more
So we
like
have serving beer
Yeah.
too.
alcohol.
For now we don't
Like
have
a
a beer
floating
yet.
bar. Or
But in the future, probably
yes,
next 3 months.
please.
We apply
Can
right
you
now.
get a DUI on a kayak?
They say
I
90
don't think
days.
so. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
There's no problem, no problem.
Once you said something out on the
Yeah.
lake, the two of
We're
us
like,
started.
oh, no,
"Hey,
no,
we
no,
can
no,
do
no,
it. Let's
no,
get
no.
something out there."
So yeah, like the beer gonna have like maybe next 3 months. We
Oh,
apply
good.
right now.
So you're in the process of getting your liquor
yeah,
license?
Yeah, liquor license, ABC,
Fantastic.
yeah, test. So, how about Dan? What do you think about the lake?
I love it. We were just talking about that, so let's do something.
My wife already said this.
Part
like,
about
my wife said, "Can we talk to the city if we can put something like bring the tour in?
Mhm.
Let's say put the deck, people, couple can ride around
That's
around
what
the
we're
lake."
talking about, yeah. There used to be
I'm sure PD would have something to say about that.
What?
We could ask them
for what?
how to get alcohol on the lake.
Oh, alcohol on the lake. So
No, yeah, not on the lake, but
Oh.
you know.
no.
yeah.
So they used to rent paddle boats here.
Okay.
Do you remember that, Ted? When they used to rent
Yeah.
paddle boats here. So it wasn't that long ago. It was just a few years back, and then they stopped
Yeah,
renting
we've
it.
had paddle boats here.
Yeah, and canoes. I remember canoes or something. So
Some
yes,
people
the
would like
answer
to
is
see
yes.
the lake
Let's
cleaned up
do it.
enough to the point where you could swim in it, but
yeah,
that's another story.
yeah, that's a little ways off.
First, the cart.
Yeah. So yeah, there's going to be we're going to be cleaning up the lake quite a
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Come join us. Have lunch. I tried to light outside earlier, but it was internet disconnected. I was like, okay, come inside.
Come
Yeah,
inside.
there you go. Yeah. That's perfect.
I want to light on Facebook on my page, but you know, maybe some other day
Yeah.
I will do that.
Oh,
Yeah.
for sure, yes.
Well, we can help you with some live streaming.
yeah,
Yeah, please,
He
please.
does that all the time.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Help us light out, spread it out, new,
Yeah.
and then we go from there. You know.
Perfect.
Go from there.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Great.
Well, thanks again.
Well, you're off to a
Appreciate
great
it.
start.
Thank
and
you,
I
yeah, yeah.
expect
Yeah.
more goodness.
You know, on Friday it was very very busy on Friday.
Yeah?
Yeah, very busy. Your
That's
hand
good.
hurt?
We're good. No, we're,
Yeah, on Friday we were very busy. Saturday also busy. Saturday, Friday, Sunday is a little bit slow, and yesterday was slow. Yeah, Monday, Tuesday a little bit slow, but you know, not much people know about it.
No, once you get the word out,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I try to work on right now DoorDash and group
The
Hub.
customer tell them
Oh,
get back.
yeah.
DoorDash and group Hub.
DoorDash.
Yeah. Yeah, try work on DoorDash group hub. So
I am
probably
a
next
firm
week.
believer in DoorDash.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, DoorDash is good.
Yeah. DoorDash group hub by
Yeah.
next week should be done.
Awesome.
That's good. Yeah.
You'll get all of us who are tired at 8 p.m. and just want and
As we're leaving City
in
Hall.
our pajamas already. We
Okay.
don't want to go out.
No, just call us. You know.
Yeah.
Just call us.
We will.
You got the restaurant phone number? You got
Well,
the restaurant phone number?
Well, hey, why
We'll
don't
get
you?
it. Yeah.
Yeah, the
It's
restaurant
on
phone
the-
number would be 530-923-7878.
923-7878.
Number again is
Number again, 530-923-7878. Khmer Thai Kitchen. Please come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Vidal.
Thank you.
very
All right.
much.
Good to see you. You too.
So there we are. Well, you've had a great meal.
Yes.
Indeed, you
Fantastic.
should join us.
Now
Well,
I feel
we're
like I need a
working
great
on it.
nap, but okay, it was good.
No sleeping
Sounded
at City Hall.
Would that be called napping on city time?
Right. Yeah.
There's a
So we
song
can't do
about
it. We
that.
can't do that now, right? So
Nope.
yeah. But thank you for the interview today, Ted. Really appreciate being
Yeah,
on,
no
and
problem.
we'll keep you posted on things as they
Happy to
occur.
do that.
A lot of new things coming down Marysville way, and we're going to be excited to be a part of that. And
Yeah.
we'll definitely keep you and your viewers posted on what's happening. And we look forward as we are like 2 thumbs up to Marysville, right?
2 thumbs up to Marysville.
That's it.
Very good. A couple of questions that I
Oh,
think
more questions?
people-
Okay.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
we can
sure.
always come up with another question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Whoops. Hello. Let's make sure you don't go to black here, Ted. So, you've had conversations with all kinds of people.
Yes.
Have you had any conversations about some of the buildings in Marysville that people often talk about?
Absolutely. Yes. Like, for instance, a good one to discuss is the Marysville Hotel. I have a file on my desk that's probably, I don't know, that thick about the Marysville Hotel over the years. So what I've decided to do is start a new file and start fresh and don't worry about all of the particular history and all of that. And so I've been having very good conversations with the owner of the building, some potential development opportunities coming our way for mixed use and housing within the Marysville Hotel. The owner has actually developed other properties that are very similar to the Marysville Hotel. One in particular in the city of Columbus he has, which is an old brick building.
Ohio?
Columbus, Ohio, yeah. And he has an old brick building. I think it's about the same age.
Oh.
And he developed it into housing and really nice housing. And it's market rate housing, so not just affordable housing, but market rate. And we've also spoken here to employers like Adventist locally, and there really is a huge need for market rate housing. So not just affordable housing, which we still have a need for affordable housing, but market rate for physicians, nurses, traveling nurses, but people with particularly higher salaries who are looking for places to live. So yes, we've been
That
talking.
came up in yesterday's Sutter County Supervisors meeting when the new CEO for Adventist Rideout made a little bit of a presentation and introduced himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that came up.
Yeah, and Chris is the new CEO, and it is one of his missions. I mean, right now he wants to it's a priority for them to identify housing for their employees.
He's going to be at City Council, isn't
Be at City Hall.
he? Want to be at City Council?
He was there, or
Oh, I
no,
think
he's
he
coming
will
up.
be
Yeah,
next
he'll be
week.
at City Council next week. That's a good
Yeah.
point. And we'll be meeting later today.
And we intend to have him as one of our guests on Lunch with Langdell.
Oh, he
Who
would
knows?
love it.
Maybe we'll identify that they have reopened the, well-regarded food restaurant in in the hospital.
Oh,
Said
yeah,
hotel.
that's right. Yeah, maybe at that point. Yeah, they closed for
Hotel
COVID. They closed for COVID, though, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe when it reopens, we'll do that. But I think we definitely want to get him on and introduce him to the community and allow the community to ask some questions.
Great guy. He went over his priorities with the Board of Supervisors yesterday, and I know that he'll do the same with the City Council coming up.
All right. Well, this has been a fun luncheon. All 50 minutes, pushing
Wow.
51 minutes. Seems like time goes by very quickly.
Yes.
And we'll have you both back as time goes on and we are able to see some of these things develop. And I'm hoping that one of the things that also comes back is the newsletter that used to go out to people by email, because that was very informative. Each of the departments had an opportunity to make sure that they had something in there. I know it was a little bit of a piece of work for the people in different departments to try to get that information compiled.
Sure.
We're happy to help there. But I think each of those things gives an opportunity to create a video out of that, in addition to something with pictures and something with text for the website or for the newsletter.
Absolutely, yeah. And then I know that Mr. Shad, one of his goals is complete transparency and being able to share a lot of what's happening with the City Council and the city in general. And I think the newsletter format would be a great thing to try to tackle. And he actually has it on one of his priority lists that he gave to us as well. So that type of communication is really important.
Well, whatever you write up for the newsletter can get posted on social media, because the text and the pictures or the video that goes along with that are right there for you.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I think we have had a very good conversation, and I appreciate your spending the time doing this.
Well, thank you.
And we hope that this inaugural broadcast of Lunch with Langdell is something that people enjoy watching.
Yeah.
Well, we really enjoyed being on as well.
We sure did.
So thank you very much, and just let your listeners know Marysville is open for business, and we are there for you for however we can assist you in the community development department, whether it be planning through Kristina or developing a new business directly through me, or however we can support you. Even if you have a current business and we need to help you expand or help you any way we can, we're here for you.
Come on down and see us.
Yes.
And if they need to get a hold of you or a phone number, they can go to the city website, which is marysville.ca.us. Okay.
Yeah, is that the website?
There's a whole list of,
I thought it was until you asked me if that was the website.
Oh, there we go. You can reach us.
It's on your business card.
Yes, okay. So marysville.ca.us. Yeah.
And then just look for the different staff directory. And if
Absolutely.
you haven't visited the Marysville website, it's been redesigned fairly recently.
Yeah, it looks really nice. Yeah.
And so it's looking pretty good.
All right. Thank you, Ted.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Well, very good. And so we will know who our other guests will be next week, and we will settle on what date that this airs, and we will be looking forward to you being able to enjoy another Lunch with Langdell.
Sounds wonderful. Thank you.
Video?
There's no budget for it, but the video, like, you know, the city manager or the department, or maybe we do like a Zoom conference call or town hall or something like that.
That's possible.
Yeah, where he gets on once a month, you
Yeah.
know, and maybe the mayor as well.
Well, you
and
know,
just
the thing that I think we probably have all learned when it comes to advertising, and I'm going to eat a little bit here, is that repetition is the key, but there's also the idea of frequency, meaning that you show up often.
Yeah.
It's not just once a month, because people need to get in a regular habit of doing things. And I suspect that that's also what's been able to help some of the whatever success we may have had here. There we go. These things get real hot when they're doing that. Not great out in the sunshine, but they do get the job done. Anyway, so what did you find most appealing? That?
I about swallowed it all. It was all good, but I'm a fan of pepper noodles.
It was really good.
You know,
This was good too. Though. Put it over rice.
if you did something weekly where it doesn't have to be long, and it seems like with social media, the optimum length of stuff is often 3 to 5 minutes. Short attention spans are just something where, and most newsletter items can be done in 3 to 5 minutes or less. I mean, if you look back at the newsletters that Marty wrote when she was here, because what would happen is the departments would get the stuff funneled to her, and then she'd go write it up and get it out online and into whatever they were doing with the mailing list. Well, it's actually going from this, a little here, a little there. It's kind of like the clown on the Mary Tyler Moore show. A little song, a little dance, a little something down your there. Are you able to keep up there, Dan?
Barely.
You're busier now than you were.
Right. Yeah, just there's a lot of moving parts, and I'm trying to get to the point where we can really identify the priorities. Because the way I like to work, I don't think any human being is more effective than accomplishing like 3 major tasks in a day or a week or whatever the set is. And you can't focus on, there's a lot of minutia, and there's a lot of things that are backlog.
Right.
And then there's a lot of process issues that are just because of the way things have always kind of been done overall. And those things need to be corrected in order to get the new stuff going, but we can't ignore the new stuff that's already going. If we do that, we're going to lose. I feel like we're on a boogie board riding a tide wave, and we need to be on that wave, and we can't miss the boat. And so that's where I was explaining to Kristina, like when we talk about being responsive, we both agree we want our department to be like, answer the questions, be right there for the customer. Kristina has the planning background where she comes from the government, and they're like, send an email. I'm like, no, let's call them right now. Let's call them right now. And I'd rather just be responsive that way. But at the same time, I have this sort of stress of we need to fix over here, because if we don't get that base operation working, first of all, we will burn out with that.
I know what you're saying.
We can only push so hard, but it won't. We end up being more ineffective than I could if we don't get that process fixed.
Well, I have to tell you something.
Yeah.
What's the day? Was it Monday or a week ago Monday? Might have been Monday. Or it might have been a week ago Monday. But you called on the phone. And I was not feeling all that emotionally up or well. I mean, I was kind of in a little bit of a black space and wanted to crawl in further. Seriously, and I think I think it's something that business owners run into, but nobody talks about.
Yeah, and it's important to talk about it.
And it's important to know who you can talk to about it and how you can go deal with that. And that's something else that I think they're talking about student mental health and everybody else's mental health, and business owners are not necessarily thinking about how to take care of themselves, and maybe that is something that can be
a great
factored into something.
Yeah.
But when I picked up the phone and talked to you, your energy came through the phone and charged me right up, like I plugged in the battery on this phone over here, so.
That's good to know.
You know, I
I'm
mean,
glad,
that was very helpful, and it kind of helped me get through the week.
Awesome, good.
So-
I'm glad to hear it. That's really nice.
You know, you didn't know when hiring a guy in Marysville that he'd be a battery charger.
Yeah, my nickname is the Energizer Bunny, so they call me that.
I can see that.
But my issue is that I do push so hard and then like,
Mm-hmm.
got to take a break,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even know when to stop. Like, and that's when you talk about mental health.
Is that where your wife comes in and says,
Yes.
honey,
She puts her foot down and she's like,
we're going on
take a break.
vacation.
Yeah,
It's
you
already
take a
arranged.
break, yeah.
Clear your calendar.
It's like, take a break. And throw the phone in the ocean.
No. I have two phones now. I don't know
She's
what
like
to do
you.
with them.
Saturday, Sunday is sacred. That's my day. I'm sleeping in and doing laundry. I'm chilling. I'm not getting out of my pajamas. I don't care. You know, I'll make social commitments, and she's like, oh no, again. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean, it's the chamber of data. Oh, we don't need to go to that stuff. You know? All that kind of stuff. That's interesting. We all go through those ups and downs, though. It's I do conscientiously tell myself in the mornings that basically life's like being on stage. Whatever job you end up doing as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, as a planner, or whatever your position, you need to wake up and be on stage, and you got to know that you're the one setting the example because you do. When you walk into a room, the attitude of the room changes based on the way that you own your own space. So you walk in and it's like, and there's always a couple people you can't turn,
This would be another good conversation.
Oh, I'd love to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a
Well,
whole science on it.
let's do that.
Some of the science I study, like emotional intelligence and DISC. You're familiar with DISC, right? The DISC assessment. Yeah. So it's really.
He had me pegged. He didn't even know me.
Yeah. So everybody has this, certain personality traits.
Yeah.
Like
Whether you're the four quadrants and whether you're
Yeah, so, but DISC
ENFP
is
or
it's
something
been
like that.
That's one. That's I forget what that's called. But Myers-Briggs, yeah. And then
Yeah.
DISC is one that's used by business people. But it depends on where you lie within the DISC, and then I think you can help each other get through things if you learn how to communicate. Like I've learned, I love your boss. He's an engineering background, right? So I studied science. I have a lot of science background, physics, all those things. So I did pre-med at Columbia. But,
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
I was there for a year, and then I found out I hated it. So I left there after a subway shooting that I was in. Like I didn't get shot, but
You
the
witnessed
guys
a
pulled away
subway
and started
shooting.
shooting people around me. Yeah, so
God.
it was kind of crazy.
Well, there's another good story.
Oh yeah, I could share that. It was a terrible time, but it was good learning experience, I guess. I lived in Harlem, so there's a whole other story there. But the science, like learning about him, so he's very like oriented. They call it seek, right? So for me, you say, hey, we're gonna have this party, right? And it's gonna be Saturday night, and like we're gonna bring some food and some drinks, and we'll see you there. That's enough for me. I don't care. Okay, I'll be there. Sounds good. For him, okay, how much is it gonna cost? What type of food? Who's gonna bring the food? What type of drinks are you gonna have? What's the transportation to get there? What is the weather gonna be like? So
I think I fall in the middle.
yeah, and you probably do, right? But so for me to relate to him, I have to speak his language. So in order to get
This is your boss now?
Yes, right, yeah.
Okay.
So and that's what you have to learn though when you're communicating with certain people, right? Like how they relate, and that's how you do it.
I once randomly got this book on a book called How to Make Someone Love You Forever in 90 Seconds. And I was like, oh, this is an interesting read. And it was about romance and dating. But it was about this guy who used to work for the FBI, and he would teach classes on body language. And this is back in when I was doing my undergraduate, I worked at Texas as a social scientist. And he would take me, for example, like granted, so it was the lean was towards dating. But if someone's sitting across from you, they're really closed off, close your cell phone too. And then start to open yourself up, and they'll mimic you. It's just human nature. If you want someone to go from this to this, was fascinating. And so I started to apply some of that at work. And and it was such a fun experience to just see someone come in and people get so defensive when they're shopping.
Yeah.
Because they don't want help, but then they do want help.
But they don't want.
Right.
They want to determine when that help happens. And so to get someone to be super closed off to open up to me, it was fascinating.
Yeah.
And it was a romance book, but it was based on like
Neuro-linguistic programming.
yes.
Yeah, there's a whole science on that
There's a whole
too.
science on it. It was
So I
fascinating.
studied that too, Anthony Robbins.
Uh-huh.
I still have that book because I thought it was such a great
It's
little
great.
find.
It works in dating, business, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then, like, if you want to sell anything at all, you also learn it then from the beginning, right?
I probably need to do a quick read on that book for a board meeting I have tomorrow.
Yeah. It's a fun
My
little
board
book.
president and I
Board
have,
meetings are tough because everybody has a different, like, you can't mimic everybody, right? So
no.
So there, you just have to log in you get in your emotional intelligence hat on, you just have to, you have to gain, garner support when they need to get support. That's what I've learned, especially on boards. You've got to get your allies, that they're going to be your allies no matter what. So you don't have to worry about them, and then you start chipping away at the other guys.
And smile at everybody.
Yeah.
Smile is,
You get a lot
what
more
is the
time.
expression? A smile is free and costs nothing.
Yeah.
And
What was that saying?
I remember when I was same school, UTA, and I was getting my master's now. I went and saw a counselor every week because it's so strange. And I love the back to school providing resources for students. It was free. As a student who made no money, I could go see a counselor and just vent about stuff. It was hard. And she I told her, I felt alienated, like no one liked me on campus, and I was new, and I was shy.
Stressful. Shy? I don't think I've
You shy? Yeah.
I'm not getting that.
I was overwhelmed.
I haven't got this vibe yet.
Oh, I used to be. I would say in my teens, I was a wallflower.
Were you really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I was feeling so overwhelmed, and she said, every day, she said, I want you to try smiling at people. You'd be amazed what happens. And so she's like, just smile at somebody. And so sure enough, if you smile at someone,
I was in a black space this morning, and Judy Mann had posted on Facebook this blurb about GT. And I'm looking at the pictures, and there's a picture of GT sitting on one of his vehicles with a big smile,
Yeah. Pick
and
you up.
it just perked me right up.
That's great. Tom, last name Tom, right?
Yeah, Gordon Tom.
He's a long time Marysville. What's his background?
Born here,
Okay.
raised here,
Very into Chinese culture.
left for a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, one branch of the Tom family had Arthur's department store
Oh, okay. Yeah.
over on Bridge
Yeah, I
Street,
heard that, yeah.
which is where several different things near what's now Los Superior Market,
Yeah.
which used to be a Lucky store back in the day. This used to be a swimming pool. Swimming pool and tennis courts. And I hope that someone, somehow, before summer's over, or before summer opens, can manage to figure out how to get a cooperative effort going with Marysville Unified to get the pool at the high school open again. We have not really had
Is
a
it in bad
swimming pool.
shape?
Well, open to the public. At
Yeah.
one point when the city had a recreation department, there was,
We have one now.
oh,
We talked
You're
about
looking
this
at him.
yesterday. I was talking to Jim. He was talking to the soccer people, and he's like, we have a new recreation person. And I was like, really? He's right there. He goes, we're going to get you some scheduling software. Okay.
Crazy those rosters. Yeah, I learned yesterday that we were Parks and
I know, yeah, we're Parks and Rec. We're like, wow.
Cool.
There you go.
I'm gonna learn how to play Little League or something. I'm down.
There's a lot of Parks and Rec in Marysville.
There's a lot of parks in Marysville.
But you got soccer, you got
Yeah.
softball, you got MMX or whatever they call it. You got the cycle, what do they call it?
motorcycle.
Motorcycles.
Motocross.
Motocross, yeah.
There used to be a a bicycle motocross.
Yeah.
There used to be a BMX
There
down
is a
by
BMX,
the softball.
There's another BMX, but I know because I'm looking at all these leases all of a sudden, you know. All of the leases are back in the 70s and 80s. Nothing's been updated, so we want to get in there and work them out. But here's my thing with Marysville is that I don't understand. All of those are nonprofit organizations that are by county. Yuba-Sutter, Yuba City, Marysville. But all based in Marysville, and somehow Marysville is responsible for maintenance, taking care of homeless issues, policing, and it's so expensive to do that. And we've got all these other jurisdictions benefiting from the property that we have on the river bottoms. I don't get it. I think there should be a definite contribution, if nothing else, some services. Like let's take Public Works from Yuba County and have them take care of the park, you know, as a partial fee for us offering the park, you know, for taking care of it. Nobody's asked that question, you know, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I feel the same way. I feel the same way on the plan. I really do. I don't. This is my thought. I don't think we should send anyone in our county ever. I think they should go to the county, handle all of our counter stuff, so we can handle the bigger planning items, and then expedite everything because they have the resource. They got the computer systems. Thank you. They got the people. They have all those things. You know? And again, this isn't something I'm going to state out there publicly, but it is something that we can stutter our mind to because there's 6 people that work at City Hall. That's who runs City Hall. That's not enough to run a city. I'm sorry. It never will be because you can't have your county clerk be the HR person, be the administrative assistant, and be whatever else she's doing, and then expect her to be effective at any one item. You know, if I get too involved, if I'm not careful and I don't say no to some things, I can see it. I mean, why am I reading all these leases? Where's your legal counsel? Get the leases done. Get the legal counsel done. Sign it off. You know, I should just be negotiating the terms, move off of the minutia, get on to the big stuff. Let's go. Because if you get stuck in the weeds, you're never going to get anywhere. You know, and my forte is getting out, meeting people like you, meeting people around, getting to know people, because that's how you do it. I mean, this guy right here wants to build some housing on the lake. You know, I talked to him when he opened his restaurant. He goes, "You seem like a guy who wants to get stuff done." He goes, "I got some property on the lake." Good dog. This guy.
Whereabouts?
On the other side of the lake. He didn't tell me exactly, but he said right over there. He goes, "Do you know anyone who wants to invest?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know lots of investors." And he goes, "Let's go. I want to do it." I'm like, "Perfect. Let's push a townhome or two into planning. Get your plans up. And let's go." But there's a housing solution right there, right? You know, I'm talking to the people who are opening the cigar box. Those guys are psyched. You know, have you met those guys? Yeah.
Sidewalk kind of
Okay,
conversation.
yeah, well, I mean, one of them was from the gas lamp down in San Diego, and he goes, "You know what I see this place like?" I'm like, "What?" He goes, "This is the gas lamp 15 years ago. Like, this place is about to launch out." I'm like, you know what? I feel the same way, dude. That's what I was telling him. And I think right now the opportunity is about to happen. I had a visit yesterday from Juan Villagrana. You know Juan Villagrana? Yeah, so he currently has 6 events he wants to plan in Marysville. He's got a parade for Cinco de Mayo. He's got a parade for September, whatever that date is, September 16th. And then he's got multiple rodeo dance things he wants to do. But the biggest thing he wants to do, he wants to sponsor a international Marysville Mariachi Festival.
Oh, cool.
We'd have hundreds of thousands of people here, Ted.
Oh, cool.
If he did that, we would have hundreds of literally. Are we recording all this?
No. We're
No,
not.
we would literally have hundreds of thousands of people here, you know, and hear that, and then we're going to have pick up all these things. And it's like, wow, there's so much opportunity here. It's insane.
I want to go back to my comment about blues festival, and I'd forgotten there's a blues festival up in Brownsville.
Well, we should have one in Marysville.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
perfect. This
And-
has to be a music venue.
And,
Music and arts.
and what was said about, well, there's got to be somehow to tie it into the businesses. Well, yes, that's true.
Yeah, but if you get music and arts, business will come.
Well, and what you also have to do is be able to create something that will, when people show up over on that side of the levee in Riverfront Park, Beckworth Riverfront Park,
Yeah.
lest you be chided by people who wish it to be called by its name. Beckworth Riverfront Park.
I'm sorry?
Beckworth Riverfront Park. not just Riverfront Park, it's Beckworth Riverfront Park.
Soon to be Heredia.
And yes, and it's
I'm feeling hungry with Heredia.
and there's an amphitheater that you may or may not have seen.
No.
I've seen it.
I did not
Okay.
see that.
We haven't done a driving, we've done partial driving tour, but not really. We need to get down into the weeds, like literally, like go down Riverfront Park.
I'm happy to go around with you if you want.
Okay, yeah, sometime, because you have a good perspective as well.
Yeah.
We want to do it with the police chief,
Yeah, two chiefs.
yeah, the fire chief.
Kind of get their take
But
on it as you go
have
around.
a lot, this guy right here knows the phone,
Well,
he knows everything.
we moved up here in 1965 to not one side of the tracks or the other, but between the tracks in Linda, at Hamilton Road and Lyndhurst Avenue. And I went from urban, Bay Area, cutting edge kind of school. I mean, I guess it was back then. I mean, I used to run projector in second grade, so, you know.
Right.
To a school that on Cedar Lane, next to where all of the housing is being put in on the other side of the street, they just built a new library. Went there for 5th grade and then went to Alicia School for 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then Marysville High School for a year. Anyway, so you go to school, and right across the street, you may have heard Stuart Gilchrist mention this from time to time, or it will come up sometime in a conversation. His dad, John B.G. Smith, was the superintendent of the then Linda School District before all the elementary schools in the hills and down here merged with the high school district to become the Marysville Joint Unified School District. And their house had been featured in Sunset Magazine. But you look to the east, down Cedar Lane to where the railroad tracks are, and there are houses you wouldn't want your dog living in. And for a long time, that was still the case. I haven't been down that way lately, but, you know, but things are improving. Something else you might be aware of, Yuba County did a rezone, a fairly sizable rezone of 400 parcels, did I count? I think it was 400 parcels in Linda, most of them along either side of Arboga Road.
Okay.
If you'd like, I can send you the link to the zoning document.
Yeah.
And I got to looking at that, and I'm curious to know, well, why in the hell we want to do that? So I did a Zoom conversation, a live Zoom conversation, I think I did, with Sutter, or with Yuba County's planning director, Kevin Perkins.
Yeah, I saw part of it.
Yeah, it was a good thing. But the thing that's been running through my mind is, because one of the motivating factors was the Senate bill, or the state bill that basically opened the door to allowing single-family homeowners to put granny houses and do whatever they wanted, basically with their yeah, I think that was it, or something like that. Anyway, it's the legislation that basically removed from the governmental purview of what you can do in your single-family zone house or lot. Right, for urban areas, and this is in an urbanized area. And I had to kind of look at that, and I went, So they're zoning it for multifamily, and I have to wonder if that was an end run around retaining some control over the development for various and sundry purposes. There are some multifamily or apartment style buildings on some of the lots there, but the interesting thing about that is that the properties along that road are anywhere from like a third of an acre to almost half an acre or an acre in size, so there's a lot of room, and you could do a lot of stuff, and it is an area that could be suitably developed, especially if they pay attention to infrastructure and other things like bus lines and stuff like that.
Right.
So, you know, I don't know that there's a large amount of land like that in Marysville, but I kind of wonder if that's something that Marysville needs to look at.
Possibly. Yeah.
I don't want to cramp anybody's development style,
No,
but
look.
by the same token,
Did you see us get beat up over the estate
Oh, yeah.
president last night?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I can so ridiculous. So we had a room full of people all on one side, and the reason we voted it no was the one supervisor said, "Well, I don't want to have these people come back for a discussion." I'm like, "Oh, no, okay." And then if you go back and look at that tape, Ted, you're going to be really interested because I just got a call a little while ago from the county clerk. We didn't vote right correctly on anything.
Oh.
So we actually, whatever we did, I have to watch how, we actually did nothing. Like we voted, but it didn't mean anything at all. So we have to actually bring that back. And so all those people that he said he didn't want to bring back, we're going to end up bringing back. They're going to be thinking we're trying to pull something conniving on them.
Oh, God.
So I told the county clerk, I said, you know what you need to tell them? You know, when the public starts calling you, and she goes, "What's that, Dan?" I said, "Tell them, you know what this is? This is a plot by Supervisor Flores to bring every housing element to Marysville." That's funny.
He was getting ripped yesterday for being over here and over there and conflict of interest kind of thing.
Yeah, from one individual from Black Side Church.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
that's the radical thing.
there's a group
It's not
of
really a church, it's a cult thing.
there's a group of people that show up at a lot of these meetings, and I've noticed the same people going through Sutter County, and oftentimes it's the same people in Yuba City, and they will, talk about the same subjects, and it's usually masks, vaccines, and 5G.
Yeah, that's right. And now Dan Flores can't have two jobs. Ethics. No, she started bringing up ethics. She's lying the whole way through when she's talking about ethics resolution. And then when she brought up my wife, that was when I was like, okay.
Okay.
That's like flows off. But then I was like, no.
Well, and then there's a group at Marysville Unified that shows up, and they're very well spoken, and if you don't do research and know what's going on, you could be very well swayed by their persuasive language and good use of words.
I'm so used to it now.
Yeah.
But
Well,
for me last night what was beautiful was having Happy Viking there.
oh yeah,
She
Sandy
came
Brown.
in and she's like, "Hey, this
Yeah.
is so great. Now he's on both sides of the river. We as business people, we do business on both sides." And yeah, it's the same.
But you're gonna have two locations. Why not have it in two different
Yeah.
cities, right?
Yeah.
Like
And then-
let those people who travel back and forth.
That's right. And then to top it off, we had the Arts Council.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, we're in Marysville and we're in the second district,
Oh, yeah.
Sutter County." And I said,
Yeah.
"This is awesome because this is exactly what we're talking about." And I told him, our two districts, you just heard me on the tape, but I said, our Sutter County second district is connected to Marysville by two bridges.
Yes.
So it's the only connection to Marysville in Sutter County. So this means a lot to me that we're going to be working together.
Oh,
It's so
you need to build that up. It's not two bridges, it's 8 lanes.
Oh, 8 lanes.
8 lanes.
Okay, I could go with that. Yeah, work it out, right?
Yeah.
8 lanes coming over. But it's true. If you took your drone and went about 100 feet in the air, it looks like one town. You just draw a circle around
yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It
Has
does.
a river in the middle. We could put a casino on the river.
Well, here's what I wanted to,
restaurants.
here's what I mentioned I asked you to remind me to tell you about something about the end of D Street.
That side?
The south end of D Street, okay. So, my wife, Anita, was what was called a community coordinator with Yuba County Office of Education.
Tell her I said hi, by the way. I've never.
Oh, okay, I'll do that.
Is there any shelter?
I wonder, could you box this perchance?
Sure.
Great.
Just advertise, test it out.
Thank you
We
very much.
will check it out right now.
You want this one pop out?
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind.
What sauce should I use on this? Just
Yeah, any sauce.
So you have a
That sauce, these
hot
sweet and sour
chili.
sauce.
Look at these children.
Oh, demi-tasse spoons. Oh, so we have egg roll and,
Yeah. We're
I'm not
gonna
sure what
split
this
this
is.
thing, right?
Okay,
try sweet and sour.
half of one.
Here you go, Dan. This is your half right here.
Yeah,
I
let's,
just
no.
stick it. My clean stick.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so that spoon is the,
Oh, yeah, I'll
Oh,
put it in.
I know you're going to tell me something else, but
Oh, okay.
that memorial block for Macy's, whatever that thing is, the Macy's.
it's wrong.
It's spelled wrong. That has to be removed.
Well,
we can't leave
no,
it. It's a laughing stock.
Well, I think I was down, I grew my beard out over several months. And I've been Theodore Cordua for Taylor Cordova for one of our historian people, and then I was, that was crazy.
White rice on the side of fried rice. And you want muffins?
Yeah, he wants it for him.
Want the soup too?
Yeah, that too, if you wouldn't mind. This was so good, hate to let it go to waste with so many hungry people out there. Anyway, so when she was working for YCOE, Bill Simmons was the director.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you were in politics back then or.
No, but I knew your wife.
Okay. So she had worked on a project that would have been and managed to get together all of the state people and other folks that would have had to have some kind of approval on being able to build out over the levee towards the river on the toe or out far enough. Remember the Rusty Duck in Sacramento?
Yeah.
Okay, and Crawdads and those other kinds of places along Garden Highway.
Yeah.
All right. This was the idea. So she gets these people all ready to come up for a meeting, and somehow the meeting was canceled and that never went anywhere.
Okay.
But, and I don't know, I suspect that there's probably somewhere in the Yuba County Office of Education archives, if that stuff from 20 years ago, 27 years ago was saved.
No, this was for the riverfront.
It was on the river side of the levee.
Okay.
So if you went down and you walked past the Silver Dollar,
Yeah.
and you walked towards the levee and went up and over the levee, the idea was that you would be able to have some kind of restaurants or what have you.
Because we're going to talk to the Yuba County Office of Ed on multiple fronts. I have a
Okay.
meeting coming up, but
With Dr.
we don't leverage
Francisco.
them at all.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Francisco
Yeah.
Gonzalez. I know him really well. But it just, I'm with the city of Marysville.
Oh my.
City of Marysville, we have no resources. They have a ton. So why aren't we going over there getting their stuff? Let's go. Let's use it. But if that plan exists, I'd love to get it. And this is related. I pulled out a plan like that from 2000. I think it was 2001.
Might have been
This is
2001,
from
yeah.
Yuba City, though. And I did this about 6 years ago. And I blew the dust off it, literally. It was sitting there. There was a plan that was done. And it was for the riverfront, like all through Shanghai Bend, all the way down in that area, redoing the whole riverfront, making a big park. Nobody had done anything. There was a plan that was done with it in 2001. And then about fast forward 6 months ago, we got a huge grant from the National Parks Association.
Thank you.
Yeah, we ended up with a
All the
huge
IT,
grant.
we take care of it.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So we got a huge grant, Ted, from the National Parks Association to do a study to develop a park. They finished the study, and now we're going to do one of the biggest national parks projects in the United States on the other side of the river.
Say that again?
One of the biggest national parks projects.
National Park?
Right.
National Park
gave
Service?
us the money for it. National Park Service. We're going to do one of the biggest parks on that side of the river.
Let's get it on this side of the.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Is
this has been going on 6
that,
years.
well, see, here's the thing.
But it should be on this side of the river, too.
Well, yeah, it should be, because if you look at the American River Parkway in Sacramento, which was developed back in the early 60s to late 60s with
I want to say something about Broadway.
you
Just
want
do
to
like
split
three
this
ways split.
3 ways, yeah.
We can't
And,
take bribes, so.
Can't take grass.
No, who
But
what?
3 ISD we can.
What did I hear?
Okay, now she said that way. That way it's not in there.
I'm Mr. Cash today.
3 way.
Okay, I'm going to pick it up.
This was great. This was great.
We have lots to talk about.
Oh, gosh.
We're just touching the surface.
Well, and we started to do a regular, Dan and I started to do a regular weekly breakfast, and I think we really need to keep doing that. I enjoy that. It's just there's not enough time, and if I do a breakfast, it gets me going.
Oh, yeah, yesterday the couple gentlemen that said, oh, you see, probably a lot of stuff like that. Then he said he had like a table. I said, if you need a dealer, let me know. I can provide you guys dealers. They can deal the game coverage for the park. gentleman yesterday that I talked to, he say he have all those things, but I don't have it. Usually I cooperate with one guy, and they have all the equipment. They just hire us.
Do you know the casino owners over here?
Yeah, have one.
No, I mean, do you know the local one?
The local, the couple, yeah.
You know them? Yeah.
I went to play a couple of times. I would not exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because we want one on B Street.
Uh-huh.
We want a casino, a clean carved room on B Street. And actually, I'd rather have it there than over here. I don't mind telling you that because I'd like them to know that too. So if we can get it to B Street. So
You guys issue the license? It's okay?
you would have to get a license.
That's
but
what I'm saying.
Yeah, if someone has a license and they want to open it up, we're going to say if there's a way to do it, we're going to allow it.
Oh,
Yep.
These street? There's an honesty? But I thought they had the one that have one over there.
They have one, but I'm just saying that if somebody else
Is,
has a
is
license.
the one that's over near McDonald's, are they still in business?
Yeah, they're still there, but it's just they let it get run down, and we'd like to do is we move some of the gaming to the center, like Main Street, to B Street, so that we have more walkable things that they can do. We're gonna have there's some nightclubs coming in right now, some bars, some other restaurant people are looking. They want to go D Street. We want to be able to close off 3rd